we don't want to put ourselves in risk because we're buying something because somebody had a fancy website and the product looks really good, and they say it's prepared by a chef. Well, how do you know, right? How do you know that that's the case? And Martin Bucknavage, food safety specialist in the Department of Food Science at Penn State. CDC recently released an investigation where they had salmonella outbreak associated with home delivered foods. I think in today's world we see an increasing number of companies that are selling these home delivered foods, and we oftentimes don't necessarily know where they come from. We don't necessarily know, who's making them, where they're being made, the legitimacy of the company that's making them. And so I think it's one of the challenges that we're going to have as consumers. So salmonella is a pathogenic bacteria that is oftentimes found in a lot of different animals. A lot of different animals carry the salmonella, various salmonella species. And when that salmonella gets onto a food product, through improper cooking or through cross-contamination, it does not take a lot of salmonella organism to be present on that product to cause illness. There is a big risk if that product becomes temperature abused in that system, as it's being delivered. And so it's really incumbent upon the consumer of that to make sure the product looks right, it's at the right temperature, and that there's not anything that is apparently wrong with the product. Again, that's not going to eliminate a salmonella issue per se, but what it can do is prevent worse issues like Clostridium botulinum or something, botulism poisoning, or something along those lines. I think one of the things that we see are these prepared meals that are made, and we're ordering those items off the internet where we don't know where the manufacturer is, we don't know anything about the manufacturer outside of their name, and they have a fancy website. So again, I think it's important for us to investigate those types of operations before we start to go and buy products. Because I think as that market continues to increase, you're going to start to see, and there's opportunities there, you can have a number of less than desirable players entering into that marketplace. At the end of the day, when people do have a risk, or they feel there's a risk, or they want to avoid risk as much as possible, preparing foods yourself is often the best way to go through and do it. Following good safety practices as you prepare your foods, of course, is important. But having that in your control can eliminate a lot of the risks.